The list of things the Tampa Bay Lightning needed to do to avoid falling behind 0-3 in the Eastern Conference Final against the Washington Capitals was getting long. As PHT's James O'Brien pointed out on Tuesday, improved performances from Steven Stamkos and Victor Hedman in terms of puck possession would have been a start. Nikita Kucherov finding the back of the net for the first time in the series would also help. And perhaps most importantly, getting an outing from Andrei Vasilevskiy that was reminiscent of those that made him a Vezina Trophy finalist this year. Stamkos stepped up his game with a 60% CF percent, Vasilevskiy was solid, and the Lightning checked enough of the boxes elsewhere to get themselves back into the series, defeating the Capitals 4-2 in Game 3. Hedman's 5-on-5 game still needs some work, but number 77 scored his first goal of the playoffs and added 2 helpers, so no one will be complaining too much. Kucherov got his first of the series, scoring on a one-timer on the power play. PHT's 3 stars, Lightning power play stays hot in Game 3 win, and Vasilevskiy looked much less fatigued than he did in the first 2 games, where he allowed 10 goals in 5 periods of play and never eclipsed the .850 save percentage. Vasilevskiy had never lost 3 straight playoff games, and he didn't start a new trend on Tuesday, steering aside 35 of 37 shots he faced. He had to be particularly good late in the game after Evgeny Kuznetsov, no surprise, found pay dirt from a dirty angle for his 6th point in the series with Washington's net empty. Tampa benefited from a 3-goal outburst in the second period. Kucherov netted on the power play, Hedman found a fairly wide-open net to shoot at, and Braden Point provided a late marker to give the Bolts a 4-1 edge through 40 minutes. Washington didn't have much of the magic they found in abundance in Tampa, although their possession numbers showed they controlled the majority of the shot share. One now has to wonder how the Caps will manage Backstrom's injury going forward. There's an argument that they could have given him the night off on Tuesday to promote further healing, with the team holding a healthy 2-0 series lead. We'll see what happens for Game 4 Thursday night, 8 p.m. ET, NBCSN. The Capitals certainly aren't panicking at 2-1, but they need to be wary of their own ugly history when winning the first 2 games on the road. They're 0-2 in a series where they do that. If Backstrom, one of the league's best set-up men, can go and be effective, he can only help. A side note, home ice advantage is a myth. The Caps are 7-1 on the road in the playoffs and 3-4 at Capital One Arena. Tampa, meanwhile, improved to 4-1 away from Amalie Arena. More, Conference Finals schedule, TV info. NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. Scott Billeck is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at pitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter at Scott Billeck. First star, Marc-Andre Fleury, Vegas Golden Knights with 33 saves. Fleury helped backstop the Golden Knights to a 4-2 win over the Winnipeg Jets in Game 3 of the Western Conference Final and now a 2-1 series lead. After a light first period that saw the Jets record only 3 shots on goal, the final 40 minutes were very busy, with Winnipeg firing 33 shots at Fleury and only managing 2 goals. He also picked up an assist and currently boasts a .945 save percentage this postseason. Second star, Jonathan Marchessault, Vegas Golden Knights. Marchessault scored the first and last goals of Game 3. Final tally was an empty netter to seal things with 3 seconds left. But first, he opened the scoring after only 35 seconds in the first period. Third star, Mark Scheifele, Winnipeg Jets. In a losing effort, Scheifele scored twice and in the process set an NHL record for most road goals in a single postseason with 11. He leads all players in these playoffs with 14 goals. Highlight of the night, Schieffel could have had a hat-trick, but Fleury robbed him twice during this third-period sequence. Factoid of the night, Thursday's schedule, Tampa Bay Lightning at Washington Capitals, 8 p.m. ET, NBCSN, Capitals led series 2-1. Sean Leahy is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at fitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter at Sean Leahy. Winnipeg Jets forward Mark Schieffel continued his scoring tear during Game 3 of the Western Conference Final against the Vegas Golden Knights with his 13th and 14th goals of the playoffs. In doing so, the 25-year-old Schieffel set an NHL record for the most road goals in a single postseason. Of his 14 goals, 11 have come away from Bell MTS Place. He's scored 9 since the start of the second round. During the regular season, the Jets forward finished with 23 goals, only 7 came on the road. Schieffel could have had another, but pesky Marc-Andre Fleury got in the way, twice. The road playoff goals record had been held by Joe Mullen, 1989, and Sidney Crosby, 2009, who scored 10 times on the road during Stanley Cup runs for the Calgary Flames and Pittsburgh Penguins, respectively. With the conference final only 3 games in and another potential series remaining in Schieffel's season, he has a decent shot at the NHL's all-time record for goals in an entire playoffs. Reggie Leach of the Philadelphia Flyers set that record with 19 during the 1976 Stanley Cup playoffs, which was later tied by Jari Kurri of the Edmonton Oilers in 1985. That performance would earn Leach the distinction of being the first and only skater to win the Conn Smythe Trophy in a losing effort. Schieffel is certainly hoping for a different outcome. The Golden Knights would take Game 3, 4-2, to grab the 2-1 series lead. More, Conference Finals schedule, TV info NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. Sean Leahy is a writer for Pro Hockey Talk on NBC Sports. Drop him a line at fitblog@nbcsports.com or follow him on Twitter at Sean Leahy. One of the fascinating subplots in the Western Conference playoffs has been watching opposing players trying, and failing, to hit Winnipeg Jets defenseman Dustin Byfuglien. Given that Byfuglien is listed at 6'5", 260 pounds and is one of the biggest and strong players in the league, it is not uncommon to see him run over people, and he has been crushing people all postseason. Just as he has done throughout his entire career. Late in the second period of Game 3 of the Western Conference Final on Wednesday night, he found a new way to demonstrate just how absurdly strong he is when he tried to single-handedly end a scrum around the Vegas net by pulling 2 players off of the pile, one with each hand, like they were a couple of rag dolls. Just watch it in the video above and shake your head in disbelief. The 2 players he is pulling across the ice there are not exactly small individuals either. In his left hand he has Thomas Nosek, listed at 6'3", 210 pounds. In his right hand is Colin Miller, listed at 6'1", 190 pounds. He just pulled them away like they were nothing. Dustin Byfuglien is a strong man. More, Conference Finals schedule, TV info NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub. Some big lineup news for the Winnipeg Jets heading into Game 3 of the Western Conference Final on Wednesday night, as they will be without forward Nikolai Ehlers. Ehlers did not take part in warm-ups, while rookie forward Jack Roslovic will draw into the lineup. Brandon Tanev skated in Ehlers' place on the second line next to Paul Stastny and Patrick Lane. The 21-year-old Ehlers is one of the Jets' core players and is coming off another strong regular season performance that saw him score 29 goals in 82 games. That success has not continued in the playoffs, however, as he has yet to score a goal in 13 postseason games. This will be the second game he has missed this postseason. According to Ken Wiebe of the Winnipeg Sun, it is not a healthy scratch and Ehlers is dealing with some sort of undisclosed ailment. Tone, meanwhile, has been surprisingly productive in the playoffs and enters Game 3 with 4 goals and 2 points. In 61 regular season games, he had just 8 goals and 10 assists. On the Vegas side, the Golden Knights will once again be without David Perron, who will miss his second consecutive game. Tomas Tatar, fresh off of his strong Game 2 performance that saw him score his first goal of the playoffs, will once again play in his spot. Backup goalie Malcolm Subban was also not on the ice for warm-ups and will be replaced by Maxime Lagacé. More, Conference Finals schedule, TV info NBC's Stanley Cup Playoff Hub.